Well, hello, friends. Welcome back to A Beautiful Journey, the podcast, where we don't do surface level self care. We go deep because true self care starts with self discovery, self care that starts on the inside. I am your host, Jessica Brubaker. I am a therapist by day and an enthusiast of all things personal development the rest of the time. Today, we are talking about a word that seems harmless. Sometimes it might even seem polite, but it actually is quietly stealing your joy. The word? Fine. Let's get into it. You know the script. How are you? Oh, I'm fine. It's the anthem of every emotionally exhausted woman who doesn't have any more bandwidth to explain why she's exhausted or what's really happening. It's what we say when we're not great, but we're convincing ourselves that it could be worse, so we settle for what it is. Fine. But here's the thing, fine is not actually as neutral as we think it is. It's not this gentle gray area. It's a beige bra on laundry day, functional, forgettable, and unfortunately familiar. Fine is that place between surviving and thriving, and most of us hang out there for way too long. Why do we do it? Because reaching for more feels risky. More means change. And if you are like most of the women that I know, including myself, you have been taught that wanting more makes you look ungrateful. But that is the first lie to dismantle today. You can be grateful and still crave growth. These two things are not enemies, they are co conspirators in your fulfilling life. Let's talk about the false comfort of fine. Fine is the ex that you knew you should have blocked, but you didn't because they were predictable. And if you know what to expect, that feels safe. It's the job that you can do in your sleep, but it leaves your soul groggy, or even worse, empty. It's the comfort that starts to look a little bit like a padded cell. It's cozy, but it's slowly suffocating you. Social psychologist Eric Erikson calls it the tension between generativity and stagnation. One is about growth, contribution, creating a legacy. The other is about staying the same out of fear. So I'm curious, which one are you choosing? And be honest, because every time we say, I'm fine, instead of, I'm not okay, or I want more, we choose the stagnation. We silence the nudge that's trying to tell us this version of you no longer fits. Let's do a quick check in. Do you think you're living in fine? You might be if you say things like, I'm just tired, but what you really mean or what you really feel is, I'm disconnected. You fantasize about running away, not forever, but just long enough to feel like you again. You feel that twinge of envy when someone else shares a win, and not because you're not happy for them, but because it reminds you that you have been playing small. You hear the whisper, is this all that there is? And you hush it away with wine, TV, or even over functioning. Let me say this gently but clearly. Fine is stealing your fire, and pretending that it's enough will never bring the peace that you're craving. Let's call it what it is. Many of us were raised to be nice, to be stable, to be low maintenance. We internalize this message that ambition is allowed, but only if it doesn't inconvenience someone else, and only if you take care of everybody else first for a lot of people. So we became these women who achieved, who performed, who produced, who built lives that look really good on paper or on Instagram, but it still feels kind of hollow inside. So now we find ourselves sitting in that carefully curated life, quietly wondering, why doesn't this feel like enough? Or is this all there is? I'm here to tell you the truth that you actually already know, but you haven't said out loud. Maybe you're afraid, maybe you don't have the words for it. You are allowed to be both the masterpiece and a work in progress. You are enough, and it's okay to want more. You don't have to choose between being content and being curious. So how do we move from fine to fulfilled? You don't need to book a one-way ticket to Bali or burn your life down. You need tiny rebellions, brave little steps. Here's where you can start. Number 1, get curious, but not critical. Ask, what am I yearning for instead of what is wrong with me? 2, reclaim your desires. What did you put on hold to be more palatable? What is the thing that lights you up? 3, this one's hard for me. Let go of gold stars. Your worth isn't in how well you perform or how much you please. 4, make space for your and. You can be both, mother and creative, leader and learner, nurturer and rebel. 5, surround yourself with safe mirrors. You need people who reflect your truth, not just your survival skills. You don't need a full-blown reinvention, but you do need to stop pretending that fine is a worthy finish line. Fulfillment isn't a destination, it's a direction. It's a posture. It's a commitment. A quiet decision to not sleepwalk through your one precious life. So ask the questions. Follow the nudge. Do the next brave thing. And if you miss the next brave thing, just do the next one. Because fine is a 4-letter word. And you, my friend, were not built for beige. If this episode stirred something in you, if you're feeling that itch of discontent, I want you to know that you're not alone and you're not crazy for wanting more. Sign up for our email list at beautifuljourney.com for more real talk, reflection prompts, and tools to support your growth. And if you really liked this episode, share it with a friend. Thanks for spending a little bit of time with me. And remember, you are worth the work. Talk soon. A little disclaimer. Although I am a licensed therapist, the content that is shared on this podcast or other platforms is for informational and educational purposes only. It's not a substitute for professional mental health care, diagnosis, or treatment. If you're struggling with your mental health, I strongly encourage you to reach out to a licensed mental health professional in your area. If you're in crisis or you need immediate support, please use one of the following resources. 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You just dial 988. They're there 24/7. The Crisis Text Line. You can text the word HOME to 741-741. The National Domestic Violence Hotline, 1-800-799-SAFE or 7233. The Trevor Project for LGBTQ plus youth, 1-866-488-7386, or text the word START to 678-678. You're not alone. Support is available, and help is just a call or a text away. And another thing, you matter, and you deserve that help and support.